Hey there, Floss Tube. This is Kathy with Hands On Design. Happy Thursday. I think today we're going to talk a little bit about the beach. It's hot, it's muggy, it's humid. We've had heat advisories all week, and I think it is a good day to talk about the beach. Mostly because I do get asked a lot why or how, I guess, I can design so much beach or beach type charts and designs and things like that, because, well, I think obviously I've shared with you before, I live in Iowa. If you look at the country, the nation, and you kind of go right there in the middle, and it's pretty close to where I live, you know, when they talk about the nation's heartland. I'm about as far away from any kind of beach as you possibly can get. But I didn't always live here in Iowa. I actually grew up in the Pittsburgh area, and that's a little closer to the Atlantic Ocean, but still not that close. But my family and I used to spend summers down on Topsail Island, Topsail Beach. It's a barrier island off the coast of North Carolina. Lovely place. Very laid back, very relaxed. It was the kind of beach where, you know, we'd get up in the morning and our moms would kind of make a base camp on the beach with the umbrellas and blankets, and we'd go swimming. The dads would be fishing. We'd spend the afternoon walking the beach. It was a very idyllic time, and I have to say, well, actually, I'm going to use my sister's words. It is one of my happy places. It's just very calming, and this particular beach, to me, you know, just brings back a lot of really good memories. So sometimes when I'm here and it's cold and snowing and, you know, things are freezing up, it's nice to be able to kind of think warm beachy thoughts. So I want to share a couple designs with you that probably a lot of you have seen, but just in case you haven't, they're really fun designs. My very first beach pattern was at the beach, and I think this probably I would have to say it's probably one of my #1 sellers. It still continues to, I get reorders for this one all the time with the distributors. It's been redone in different colors. I've seen it finished framed. I've seen it stand-ups, easels, wall hangings, you name it. I had one grandma email me and say what she was gonna do was the section in the beach blanket, her new grandson's room was going to be decorated in beach style. So she did the bottom 3 in the beach towel as a birth sampler. And what a sweet idea. There is also a group in New Jersey. I got commissioned I think it's been 2 years now. They contacted me about adding the wording at the top, the Jersey Shore, I think the Jersey Shore Stitchers or something like that. They rent a big house at the beach and they go and stitch for a weekend. Wonderful. Heaven on earth. And so everybody that showed up got a copy of the chart, you know, with the memory of the weekend on there. That's pretty nice too. So I don't know. I'm kind of partial to my first beach design. I know, kind of silly, but and those were very bright beach colors. So when I did another beach, you know, I like to kind of change things up. Don't always do the same thing. So this was beach, but definitely deeper tones, and I am a quilter. Although unfortunately I haven't quilted in a very long time. I kind of got a really strong quilting influence in this one, and I couldn't even begin to tell you how that happened. With this one, I chose the color scheme first. Obviously I knew I wanted to seize the day, and I actually had this and the sail. I was going for much more, I don't know, tonal whimsy than a lot of the hard lines of the quilting, and I just love those little fish. The one jumping in and out of the water. They just came out so cute. I even made the sun kind of I just had fun with those little triangles. But again, deeper colors. And then, well, I have to introduce you to, well, those of you that follow me on Facebook and Instagram, mostly Facebook, you knew it was only a matter of time before you got to meet another member of the family. He's just one of them. When I was designing, you can stay a while. When I was designing the To the Beach series, well, first off, the color palette, because I've talked about the color palettes of the other two. The color palettes were much more what I call vintage beach. And the influence there was I had actually gotten to teach at Salty Yarns in Ocean City, Maryland one year, and I was there with Cecile and Rachel from Just Another Button Company, and when we had breaks during our teaching, we got to walk up and down the boardwalk. It's such a cool shop. I mean, my gosh, you can come off the beach and walk into a store and get your General Art sampler thread if you need it. I mean, who'd have thunk? But this shop is just packed with just tons of stuff. And we were teaching, and it was late in the season, so it wasn't really very crowded, but as we walked up and down the boardwalk, I got to really kind of take a look at the architecture, a lot of the old signs that were painted on the buildings. I took some pictures. It really kind of struck me as very vintage colors. So I was designing the To the Beach series, and I just thought, I don't know, I needed some flamingos. And I said to my husband, I need some flamingos. I mean, I really said it like that. God love the man. He went to Lowe's on his way home from work. He found these guys, and he sent a picture from the garden center of Lowe's in November, which is very cold and nobody's really out there. And he said, how many would you like? And I said, well, let's adopt 3. And I don't know why I used the word adopt, because they really kind of did become part of the family. They went with us to market. I did a few funny little posts about, you know, they got upset because they couldn't ride the way to Nashville with their heads out the window, and they got a bath when they went, because they really were actually very dirty from being out in the garden center. And we put them to bed one night, and I actually walked into the Embassy Suites hotel at Nashville Market, and somebody said, I didn't even know who it was. And she said, did the flamingos make it okay? Like, yeah, my flamingos are more famous than I am. Anyway, all right, I'm going to put you aside now. Oh, and just, you know, you kind of heard it here first. The flamingos did not make it to market last year, and they were quite upset about it. But they're probably coming back this year. That's just a hint. So, all right, I'm going to put you down. All right. I know, we're kind of weird. But anyway, so I talked about the To the Beach series. The flamingos were they were the ambassadors for the To the Beach series. And that was a series of 12 designs. I'm not going to show you all 12. I just may pick a few of my favorites. The first one, this just still is one of my favorites. Each one fits into a 5x7 frame. So these were frames I had picked out, but gosh, the great news is that so many, beach is such a popular theme in framing right now. I've had so many people send me pictures, and they're cute little beachy inspired frames. Oh well, just oh well. Doesn't mean anything, just oh well. I just love this one. It still makes me giggle. So that was actually one of the first ones we brought out. And it came out with, all right, let me grab this one, sorry. A little cottage by the sea. And so now that you know I kind of spent some summers at the beach, you understand the little cottage. Mine was not that cute. And again, the little red umbrellas. Now, the thing, I have to kind of say, when I do beach pieces, and if there is an umbrella in it, it's always going to be red. I know there's plenty of colors of beach umbrellas. They're multicolored. But part of the reason why my umbrellas are always red is that when we went to the beach, my family, and the moms would set up camp, is my family always had a red umbrella. I don't know, just kind of makes me think. Reminds me of those happy times. So it's a red umbrella for me. So now you know why the red umbrella. It's kind of like my version of the Louis Vuitton shoes with the red, but much less expensive. Anyway. All right, so a couple more. These were just kind of meant to be fun little sayings. Adjust your sails, just like kind of little, you know, pick-me-ups, little inspirational sayings kind of thing. I just love the little sailboats with I put shiplap in the background. Now, it was funny because I had some people say, what's shiplap? And then other people go, oh my gosh, yeah, shiplap, I get it, it's great, you know. And I just love my shiplap. So it's a thing. And then anchor down, just another one of my favorites. I have a thing for anchors. I don't know what it is. And each one in this one, they're all different. And a little some fishies stuck in there too, swimming around. So that boat's not going anywhere with that many anchors. Anyway, so that's my To the Beach series. And I'm excited to show you in my next kind of club kit, shop exclusive. I worked with Down Sunshine Lane. Amy is the owner, and I've known Amy for a number of years. I've gone to be a vendor at some of her pals retreats in Myrtle Beach, so she is definitely at the beach. So loves her beach stitching, and she approached me last maybe March or so about, you know, doing, she was talking about doing this beach club. And, you know, beach, it's right up my alley. But at the time, it was like pre-post, during market kind of crazy. And so I just thought, well, I'll think about this. But let me tell you, this whole project, it was really, a lot of it was a joint effort between Amy and I. We had a lot of discussions about the piece, not the pieces themselves, but the foundations of the pieces, and I really just love it. And I will actually credit Amy that she was actually the one that suggested the saying, and the saying is, well, here, I'll show you the cover, and they are available now on her website. Now I'll put information in the notes section, but there's the cover. So it's I dream of the sea and the wild salt air. And she actually said she found that saying somewhere. I had never heard of it. And we weren't, you know, we were really hoping that people would get the wild salt air, because that just hooked me right away. And she's like, oh, I love that part. And I'm like, I do too. That's really cool. And we had looked at a lot of different possibilities for the foundation of the large piece. And when she found this tray, it's metal, so that's really cool. So your magnets, your needle minders and what will stick to it. Great. So it really will be a great tray to set by your stitching and hold your needles and all the fun other little accessories that go with this kit. So the tray comes with it, and it's this great blue. I love the scalloped edge. So you can kind of see, like, that's the profile, you know, so it's a shallow tray. This is about a 6-ish inch base. So you can kind of figure out what size that's going to be. And just kind of information I'll put in here and there what you'll get. You'll get the tray, you'll get your linen, you're going to get a piece of mat board for the finishing, chart, finishing instructions, you know, all that good stuff, the floss, and then it's a 32 count antique ivory Belfast. So I named each of the pieces as I was working with them. Just, I don't know, I kind of like to do that sometimes. And this was the wild salt air tray. So it's just a fun, you know, got my little fishies in there, and then you'll kind of see throughout each piece, I've got little bit, like they're white, smeared across over 4, and those are my little bits of wild salt air. So you'll see them actually in each piece to kind of pull them all together. So this is the tray that comes with it. Hopefully, I don't know, you're getting good color. It's a little dark in here today. It's the only quiet place in the house right now, quite frankly. So, so anyway, that's your tray. So piece number 1. And then let's see, what should I do? Oh, I'm gonna do, this is the, this is so cool. This is the Footprints in the Sand spool. So you're gonna get the spool, and it's already painted top and bottom in the blue to coordinate. And then you're gonna get these really nice little scissors that go with it. It's drilled, it had to be actually drilled a little bit extra too before the painting to fit your scissor. So great pair there. And I did a little scene around it. I'll kind of show you. There's my red umbrella. Now you know the backstory, and you got the little footprints in the sand as you walk around the sand there. And there's a mama and a baby seagull just sitting on the pier, just enjoying it. Now, I've actually never designed for a spool before, but obviously I do lots of shapes. So this was kind of fun to try something a little bit different. The finishing is super simple. I was kind of making it harder than it had to be, and I sat down and said, okay, figure this out. I even called another designer, a friend of mine, and said, who also does a lot of finishing, and I kind of talked her through what I was thinking, and I said, does it sound right? And she goes, yeah, it sounds good to me. And I'm like, okay. I don't know why sometimes it's like you just got to try it. So it's a very simple finish. I did one thing you will need maybe a little extra for this is a small piece of like batting to put under, because you're just going to flat finish that, and then a little bit of double-sided tape. So that's all you'll need extra for that one. And then under here, I did actually put a piece of batting onto the spool, but you're getting the spool and it's already been painted top and bottom. Now, a little problem, you just deal with things sometimes as they happen. But all the spools, and I'm not going to blame the country that these came from, because I'm not going to get political on here or in trouble either. However, every spool was a slightly different size. So when you're trying to design for that, that can kind of be a nightmare. So I actually originally had a design that required that it met up in the back. Well, that's not going to work because my spool could be slightly, even a 1/4 inch difference would be off. So complete instructions on, I continued the Smyrna crossover 4 theme as kind of that's the easement section. So this is super easy to finish. Really very little hand stitching required. So you'll have fun with this. So anyway, this is so we've got the wild salt air tray, and this is the footprints in the sand spool. So the next part I have is the seashells pincushion. And you know me, if you know me at all, you've seen this pincushion shape. I just love these. It was just so much fun to design. I guess I really like doing puzzles as a kid, and maybe this is what comes out of me. I don't know. So you've got your seashells on the top. You got the scallop shell. You've got starfish, sand dollar. You got the little bits of wild salt air still, and then you've kind of got this little, I don't know what kind of shell would you call that? Kind of a conch shell or something. But this is fun because you stitch part of it here, and then the little part of it here. So when you assemble the pincushion and bring this seam together, can I get good light? The shell sort of wraps the corner. It's just really cool. And then of course, if you flip it over, you've got the bottom of the sea, that the seaweed. That is the prettiest seaweed I think I've ever seen. And then a little bit of your waves. So when it's sitting there, you can just kind of see a little touch of the water. And then if you take a peek underneath, there's down under the sea. And Amy's she's including this little fun set of pins that they come with a variety of colors and little beads. This one has a fish and a turtle and a starfish. And for this, finishing wise, all you're going to need is a little bit of stuffing. I use a wool roving. I did also use a little bit of iron-on fusible in here. We did not include it because really it is optional, since we're filling it with stuffing. I did use it. I like to use it when I'm making dimensional objects. It just sort of helps hold its shape a little bit better, I think. But we're not putting like this, the sawdust or the walnut shells in here. So you don't necessarily need it, but I do like it just to kind of, but this is a nice linen. It's not a floppy linen. So if you're comfortable with your finishing, you don't necessarily need it. But anyway, so and I just love the colors. It is DMC, but you get like, I want to say like 11 skeins of DMC, and that will do the whole project. So lots of fun with my seashells pincushion. I just think it's cute. Okay, so one last piece, and this is the Seastar little pouch. You're thinking, well, that's interesting. What's in that? Well, Amy worked with the fun ladies at Retromantic Fripperies, and she made this really cool corner gauge. So you're getting that in the kit too. And I love it. I love when the whole thing just comes together. And Amy worked with them to get the saying on, and I actually was fortunate that she kept sending me pictures, and I'm like, scoot that a little this way. You know? And the ladies at Retromantics were really great about, you know, okay, all right, we'll do it one more time. But look, they've got the waves right, they've got the saying, and I love the shadow of the big starfish in the back. It just goes with the whole piece. But if you don't know what this is a 3-inch corner gauge. So if you've got your linen, you know, a lot of times the general rule of thumb is have 3 inches around your fabric. So if you call a shop and say, this is my stitch count and I want a piece this big, and if they give you a 3-inch border, then you can put that in the top corner, and then you know that's where your starting point should be if you're going to start in the top left, top right, bottom, you know, whatever. You put it in any corner. But there is also markings on it for 2.5 and 2 if you're using a slightly smaller piece, something from your stash maybe. But anyway, so this is the You're a Star. And there's a couple, you know, there's again that little wild salt air with lots of fun starfish and sand dollars. And she does include also this, again, it was just one of those things. She said, what do you think of this fabric? And it's like, oh, it's perfect. It goes with all the colors of the piece. So it's just this real pretty little starfish pattern. And she actually showed it to me. I had all the colors picked. This was the last piece I designed. I knew I wanted to do a wreath of some sort, and then I got the fabric, and it was like, well, you know, that's, you know, here I focused on the seagulls, and here we focused on the shells, and then the, you know, the tray brought it all together. But just something fun. Easy assembly. Do not be scared off by this because you're thinking, I have to make a little bag, and it is lined. Complete finishing instructions. You get the pieces of cotton fabric in your kit. A sewing machine, I'll be honest, would be helpful, but these are, you can see the length of the stitches. They're just not that big. So you could definitely hand stitch this one. So, but yeah, so it's a fun little piece. I will give her website for ordering. The kit is $95, and that gets you all 4 projects. It gets you the metallic tray. Here, I'll show you. I'll pull these up again so to help you remember. The metal tray, the 4 pieces of linen, all your floss. You get your pre-cut mat board. It should be cut to fit just in the bottom. You shouldn't have to do any other cutting to that. So that's included. And then your corner gauge keeper, you're getting the corner gauge. The 3 pieces of cotton, you will have to cut those down because I just didn't want to cut those exact, and you know, it just is easier if you cut it down later. You get the pre-painted spool, and you will have to add a little bit of batting there. And you're getting the scissors to go with this. And then the seashells, like I said, you're getting the linen, and you're getting all the floss, you're getting the pin cushions, or the pin set, and you'll just need to add a little bit. So she has been advertising it on Facebook and Instagram, as have I. It is limited. I don't know her numbers. I don't know how many she sold at this point. So if you are interested, definitely go ahead and check out her website. It is listed on her website. That is again, with this, I am not handling any of the orders. I just did the design for her. Oh, and this is I almost forgot about it. This is my little gift to you. My son and I made these. It's just a little floss tag. It's, you know, and I believe when your kit comes, all your floss is going to be on there. I really like these little, it's laminated. I like making these. I like including them in my kits. Just kind of helps keep your floss organized. So this is my little contribution into the kit of all the good stuff, the goodies. So it's my little gift from me to you. So, so enjoy that. But anyway, like I was saying, I almost forgot that, but, definitely go to her website and you can order it straight from the website. So, so that was a lot of fun. we had a good time with it. It's been a busy summer. I hope it's been a good summer so far for everybody. Around here, you know, they say, you know, well, I think they say it everywhere. You know, once you hit 4th of July, and trust me, it's already happening. I am kind of in panic mode because I'm coming up on, I teach at Needlework Galleria in St. Charles in August, and I'm on jury duty for the next 2 weeks. So keeping my fingers crossed that come Monday night at 5 o'clock when I have to call in, they'll go, "You are not needed." So, and if not, well, I'll be pulling some late nights. But, and I want to share with you my little, my goodie that came in the mail today. I don't know if you're familiar with the Ray Dunn pottery at all, but I just love it. I love the look, and I love this one says, obviously, create, sorry, the lights. And I've just been searching for the right one, and I finally broke down and bought one. And so I'm having my coffee in my Create mug today. So one of my mugs broke, and I felt, well, now I can finally replace it with something. But, well, before I close too, number one, thanks for watching. Number two, I'd really like to thank you for the fun comments and likes and new follows after my last post that I did with my sister, Cindy. She was visiting for a week and from Pittsburgh, and she's back home now. And we had a blast. We don't get to see each other as much as I would like to. And quite frankly, sometimes we don't even get to talk as much as I would like to. But we're trying to be good and better about that. And basically, you know, just learn to kind of cherish the time that I do have when we're together with each other, with all family. And, so, but yeah, I think it was really neat that I could bring her in as a stitcher. She's probably the one family member that really kind of, you know, gets what I do for a living. And it was really neat to be able to bring her into that aspect of my job, and share that with her and have her take part. And I think she did a really good job. So anyway, so thank you. And who knows, I'll probably be sharing some other family members here soon too. So in the meantime, create, go to the beach, dream of the sea, and have a good weekend. And most importantly, enjoy the stitch. So until next time, bye-bye.